Hello. Hola, El Goyo 78 MV. Mi habla es. Do you speak English? To habla. Hi. Here I am trying to speak Spanish. Good. Because my Spanish es. Well, my Spanish is bad. Let's just put it that way. I know muy poquito. Or Pepsi Twist, I don't know, and I don't care, honestly. What kind of joke is this? There's no joke. And if it's a joke, why are you here? Would be my next question. Assuming that it did it right. South Valley, no. I don't even know you. No. Not overly, no. I know, isn't it great? Just think what I'll sound like when I'm 80. Or they stick around and we give it, or they stick around and we feed it, one or the other. But usually they get kicked, yeah. No, not really. Hi, Grant, Gamer Freak. Yeah, no. Am I a wizard? I've been called worse things. Okay, today our topic is the American paddlefish or Mississippi paddlefish. And nothing else. I just said. I didn't say it was an insult. And why would I be a wizard? Just wondering. So this animal status, at least within the United States, is vulnerable. That means they're not within the mass of the United States. A science guy, yeah. A magic guy, no. Their population trend is largely on. Hey, Baragon, how are you? And sorry for that really weird hello. This is a good one. So population trend is unknown, as well as their numbers are not known. So facts about this animal. And there's quite a bit. The American paddlefish, or the Mississippi paddlefish, is a species that live within North America. They are an ancient species. More on that in just a bit. They can attain a size of over 7 feet long and can weigh more than 200 pounds. They're a big fish. Their ancestors have swam in North American waters for about 125 million years. Yes, they swam at the same rivers that dinosaurs were drinking out of. Nowadays, they can be found in rivers and reservoirs. No, they are not. They live, or they can live for. Ooh, I'm skipping stuff. Their paddle-like snouts is covered in sensory organs that help them find food, and these guys feed on plankton. Yes and no. Um, These guys swim around with their mouths open, sort of like a basking shark, and they take in plankton and force out the water. These animals can live for 50 years or more. They range from southwest New York State westward to central Montana, and then south to Louisiana. And at one time, you could find them in the Great Lakes drainage basin, but sadly, no more. Like sturgeon, they have skeletons that are made out of cartilage. Also like sturgeon, they migrate hundreds of miles before they spawn. Male paddlefish can spawn around 4 to 9 years of age, and females can spawn around 6 to 12 years of age. And they spawn from March to June. Yep. I would love to see. I've seen one somewhere, and I don't remember where, but I know I've seen one. But like in an aquarium setting. The sexes gather in groups where the females release their eggs over gravel or sandbars, where the males then release their sperm over the eggs. It's called broadcast spawning, and they've been doing it for centuries upon centuries upon centuries. At the end of their first year, their babies will be 10 to 12 inches long. Yeah, pretty much like salmon. So at the end of the first year, yeah, babies will be 10 to 12 inches long. Sorry, 10 to 12 inches long. And they were first seen by Europeans when Hernando de Soto explored the Mississippi. Yes, in some places they are. They should be. Also, like sturgeon, their eggs produce a popular caviar. Now, where can you see these guys? If you wanted to see them outside of their natural habitat, you can see them at the Tennessee Aquarium, the National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium, the Audubon Aquarium, and the aquarium at Union Station. So, if you live in Tennessee, if you live in New Orleans area, if you live in St. Louis, yes, potentially. If you see them in St. Louis, you can see them there as well. Germany has 2 places that you can see these fish. Several other countries display them also, and Switzerland has 5 places you can view these animals, and Asia surprisingly has 1. No, Union Station in St. Louis. Why they are endangered. One of the biggest threats to paddlefish is river modification. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is we have straightened out rivers and made them easier to navigate. And in doing so, we have changed rivers. And this has created issues for these fish because they need some of that habitat, that unique river habitat, for feeding and nursery areas. We've also put in dams that create barriers, dams, levee, docks, and locks, yep, create barriers to spawning. However, they are thriving in our reservoirs, so that's a good thing. Well, they also did it in the Kankakee River, as well as other places. Over harvesting, there are still some places where these fish are commercially fished, as well as for sports fishing. That creates problems. Also, where there are issues is in my area, they have been fished out, meaning that the Great Lakes are no longer home to these animals. Neither are a lot of the rivers that feed or come off the Great Lakes. Another major problem for these animals is that they reach maturity at a late age, and also that they don't spawn regularly. Remember, it takes them at least 9 to 12 years in order for them to reach that maturity. And then they only spawn every few years. So they spawn, I think it's every 4 to 9 years. So imagine if you're a mom only having babies every 9 years. And that's about what they do every 4 to 9 years. And that can create havoc when you're trying to repopulate a population. Takes them a little bit longer to get the to get numbers up. Pollutants in the water also may be causing issues as well. Remember, some of our chemicals are able to stay in the body and can gather in the body, like mercury and other chemicals that are harder to get rid of. At this time, it is hard to know if animals like zebra mussel or Asian carp may be altering the food webs within our rivers and reservoirs. These guys are filter feeders, and they're feeding on the same foods that our paddlefish feed on. And so that could also be contributing to our paddlefish's issues. So what are we doing to save them? Oh, there's some things that we're doing. Controlling sport and commercial harvest through state and federal regulations. Wow, that was random. Totally random. We are, in some places, trying to reintroduce the paddlefish, and in some states, it might be helping. We are in some places. I don't know if the state you live in, Carrie, is doing that or not. They are protected by CITES. I'm live. We are working to help reestablish some of these populations. They are protected by CITES, and there are attempts to provide a passage in some places for spawning and migration. So there are some of the dams that are out there that are blocking migration. They're working on fixing them so that they can get through. So that's really cool. That is about all I have on them. I wanted to look up So this is what the state of Indiana has to say. Hi, Benway. So paddlefish are rare to occasional. I can, and here in a second. Carry me through. In your state, they are a rare to occasional visitor. Much of their habitat has been destroyed due to dams, so that's not good. Hey, Benway, you're I know, but you can actually eat them, and they were considered a major commercial fish in the 1800s, which is probably why they're in such bad shape. Now, they don't have a lot of predators, but the chestnut lamprey might be one of them. In Indiana, yeah, paddlefish may not be taken from any portion of Indiana waters of the Ohio River. It is illegal to take paddlefish from Indiana waters on any sport fishing license. It is not stocked by the state into any Indiana waters. It is illegal for sport anglers to take paddlefish from state rivers. Licensed commercial fishermen can take paddlefish from the Ohio River, but only if they first obtain a roe harvester's license. Indiana caps the number of Ohio roe harvester's licenses to only 15. And you can only keep paddlefish that are over 32 inches, measured from eye to the fork in the tail, and must keep and submit a daily record of all harvested fish. Is Ohio a country where you can do much? Yeah, it's a state, not a country, and I don't know what you mean by that. So that is a little bit about Indiana's take on them. Okay. Thank you for the sub. Have I missed any questions? Could be. I don't know why it decided to hide your comment, Grant Game Freak. I really don't know why. Grant Game Freak, are you new to my channel? And by the way, guys, thank you for the likes. It is much appreciated. Roadblocks predator problem bad. Well, I'm glad you're here. Benway, we're not talking about roadblocks. I don't play the game, so I really, honestly... Hi, Santos. I don't know how to say the rest of your name. And that is way off topic anyway. I agree. But again, it's off topic. There is another species that is found in China, but it hasn't been seen since 2003, and we're pretty sure that it is extinct. So there are other aquariums that you can visit to see these animals. If I can get to it. I hope I spelled that right. Yep, I did. So if you live in North America, you can see them in Chattanooga at the Tennessee Aquarium. I think it's in Iowa, the National Mississippi Museum and Aquarium. Oklahoma Aquarium. Wildlife World Zoo Aquarium and Safari Park. The Aquarium and Natural Sciences Center. Mystic Aquarium. Audubon Aquarium. Odyssey Aquarium. Shreveport Aquarium. Wonders of Wildlife National Museum and Aquarium. At St. Louis at the Aquarium at Union Station. In Tampa at the Florida Aquarium. And at Waco, the aquarium, the Cameron Park Zoo. If you live in Canada, at the Ripley's Aquarium of Canada, you can see them. There are no places in Great Britain, however. So, there is that. It's possible. It is entirely possible. Sorry, guys. Bit of a headache. Let's see what I can do for... Thank you. Another name for this fish, by the way, is Mississippi paddlefish, American paddlefish, spoon-billed cat, or spoonbill. That's what they look like. You can see the paddle. Right. Very ancient fish. They have no bones to speak of. They are cartilaginous, meaning that basically they have they're like sharks, basically, except that they don't have much in the way of teeth. That paddle, like I said, helps them to find help them find food. It may tell them other things as well. Yeah, I don't know on the shovel nose part of it. So I can't show the map. But New York, supposedly, according to this map, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, DC, North Carolina, in those states, they are basically extinct. In Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Ohio, West Virginia, Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas, they are endangered or threatened or a species of special concern. And then in Nebraska and Illinois, they are listed as declining. South Dakota, Kansas, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana, they are listed as stable. In all other states, they are listed as no data. Again, I don't know when this map was done. It says 2014. Things can change a little bit here and there. So, I don't know. Benway, we've already said hi. Thank you, Hezron45. Friday's live to be our solar system, or sorry, our position in the solar system and more. We're going to be talking about basically how we are in just the right spot in the solar system to allow for life on Earth with a twist. We'll be looking at a bunch of little coincidences that do allow for us to actually be here. And then we will be having an open chat at 7 o'clock. And then the 13th. On the 13th, we are doing a subscriber-only animal meet and greet. Thank you, Grant Game Freak. My lives are Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then Fridays at 1 and 7 again. And then Saturdays, depending on how my life is going. Oh, I had no idea. Friday, we are doing our lives from 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. And then Saturday from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then Tuesday, we're talking about the problem with plastic and recycling. Don't forget, there are videos that you can watch if you want to know if there's a certain video. You should be able, I don't know if you guys can search through the videos and the shorts, but there's a lot. And by a lot, I mean assuming, oh good. There are video-wise There are 681 videos. Yes, Fridays are 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then Saturdays are 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for all lives. Yeah, it's 1 and 7. And then 1 and 6 p.m. Fridays are 1 and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So there's 681 videos that you can look through talking about animals and plants and everything in between. There's also a whole mess of lives. There are 496 lives. It's 1 and 7. It is 1 and 7 p.m. and 1 and 6 p.m. Oh, thank you, Grant Game Freak. As well as shorts, which there's probably there's around 721 shorts. I think there's more than that. So times are here. Tuesdays, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Friday, yeah, no. It goes live at 7. We've only been doing the 7 p.m. on that one. I think. I need to... I've been bad. Yeah, there is a channel if you're interested. It's a spooky channel where my alter ego, so to speak, tells stories. And that Thursday channel, it's Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's I think it's Wild Life Replica World. And the other channel, the spooky channel, is the one I can never... Oh yeah, I was right. The other channel I don't go live on. I don't have enough people on it to go live yet, is the Boneyard Scribe. But when I do get to go live on that channel, oh boy. It is not an educational channel. Definitely not educational, for the most part. However, the Wildlife Replica World one is definitely educational, as is this one. So if that's your thing, you're more than welcome to stick around. Sorry for the lights, guy. That's probably what's giving me the headache. As is my usual take on YouTube, it is now your guys' chance to ask me questions. And to just chill. I did not get a poll up. I usually do. Well, I try to do Middle Ages down into the Dark Ages. And so some of the shorts are from that time period. Well, they're about that time period. And they are historically accurate, I think. It'd be kind of fun to do movies. Sorry. Oh no. Well, that's not good. I managed to make it almost an hour on just 47% battery life. That's pretty good. And when she says the days of the plague, she's talking about like 1300s through 1400s. I don't know. I don't know if you should or shouldn't. It is just Tuesday. Oh. No. I don't mean like shooting a movie. I mean like hosting movies. That would be fun. Then my character could really let his hair down, so to speak. Well, guys, I'm not going to keep you. Yeah, like Svengoolie, who chances are nobody else knows, but that's okay. Those of us in the greater Chicago area have a good chance of knowing who he is. I like Svengoolie and I like Elvira, but I'm definitely not an Elvira. I don't have the assets that she has, nor do I want them. I don't know. It says there's 4 people. And guys, if you don't know what we're talking about my spooky channel. And the possibility of someday maybe doing movie or hosting spooky movies or horror movies. That would be so cool. But expensive. Really expensive. It'd be so cool to see my stories done into movies or cartoons or something like that. Cartoonish. That would be so cool. Watching my characters transform into monsters or fly around as bats or... Well, you get the idea. It would be really cool. But I'm gonna go, guys. I'm hungry. And I still have a video to do. So I'm gonna let you go and I'm gonna go eat. And you guys can go do whatever it is that you guys were doing. Bye, everybody. See you in the next one.